children, I hope you all are safe, healthy and happy, and you all are enjoying learning lessons with me. And children, these days we are learning some stories from our supplementary text that are related to animals and birds. So you all love animals and you all take care of animals, and I know many of you have animals as pets in your house. Children, do you know which animal is known as the national animal of India? Yes, you are right. I know you all know the answer to this question. It is the tiger. And we all must really be proud of this powerful animal. Okay? They are like kings in the jungle. Okay? But children, you also must remember that these days the number of tigers are decreasing, and also some tigers are becoming extinct from our country. So the government has started many projects to save tigers. Project Tiger. And also many laws have been, made to protect the animals, especially our national animal, the tigers. You must be wondering, why am I talking to you about tigers? Because today's story is about a tiger. And so, when we are learning this story, we also need to carry the message of save the tiger to our community. Okay? It's our duty to protect our national animal. Because children, we must know that the ecological balance of Mother Nature, or the ecological balance of the earth, is maintained only when all the creatures, human beings, animals, plants, the tiny creatures, all are, interdependent on each other, and all of them take care of each other. So human beings must try their best to maintain this ecological balance. So you will love reading this particular story about a tiger, which has been written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is a famous writer, and children, he has written many stories about animals and about children. And children love reading stories of Ruskin Bond. So here we go. If you have a textbook, please look into your textbook, or otherwise you can look at your screen, and let's try to read the story. A Tiger in the House by Ruskin Bond. Now, grandfather. Children, the narrator of this story is Ruskin Bond himself. Now, the narrator's grandfather, finds a tiny tiger cub in the forest and brings the tiger cub to home. And grandmother calls him Timothy. And this tiger cub is brought up like a human child. Timothy is playful and naughty, and his companions are Toto the monkey, a puppy, and other members of the household. Now, Timothy the tiger cub was discovered by grandfather in the Terai jungle near Dehra. One day when grandfather was strolling down the forest path at some distance from the rest of the party. Here party means not the party which you enjoy at home, but the grandfather's friends. So grandfather had gone hunting along with his friends in the forest, and that was when grandfather discovered, a little tiger, a cub about 18 inches long, hiding among the intricate roots of a banyan tree. Now grandfather picked him up and brought him home. He had the distinction of being the only member of the party to have backed any game, dead or alive. Now here, children, what does this line mean? The grandfather had the distinction of being the only member of the party. I told you he had gone with his friends to the jungle. They went on a hunting. Okay? So they went for hunting and nobody could hunt any animal in the forest, but grandfather was successful in finding this tiger cub. Okay? So if you go for a hunting, you are happy if you find an animal, okay, either dead or alive. So grandfather was the first one in the group to find this tiger cub, and it was too small and it was hiding in the forest. So at first the tiger cub, who was named Timothy by grandmother, was brought up entirely on milk given to him in a feeding bottle by our cook Mahmood. But the milk proved too rich for him, and he was put on a diet of raw mutton and cod liver oil, to be followed later by a more tempting diet of pigeons and rabbits. So children, when grandfather took this cub home, he was named Timothy, and initially he was taken care of like a human child. He was given milk in a feeding bottle. But you know children, we know wild animals love to eat meat rather than milk. Okay, so this milk was rich for him, so they gave him raw meat and cod liver oil, and also after some days it was given a diet of pigeons and rabbits. Now Timothy was provided with two companions, Toto the monkey, who was bold enough to pull the young tiger by the tail and then climb up the curtains if Timothy lost his temper, and a small mongrel puppy found on the road by grandfather. You know, grandfather was really an animal lover, and wherever he used to find animals left alone, he would bring them home and keep them as pets. So who were the two companions of Timothy? Toto the monkey, who was very naughty, who used to pull Timothy by its tail, and if Timothy lost his temper, or whenever he got angry, he would quickly climb up the curtains. And also a small mongrel puppy, So these two were Timothy's companions. At first Timothy appeared to be quite afraid of the puppy and darted back with a spring if it came too near. Darted here means children moved or rushed suddenly, to move back. So at first, this small tiger cub was afraid of this puppy who was very naughty and, moved back or rushed suddenly whenever, this puppy tried to come near him. And he would make absurd dashes at it with his large forepaws and then retreat to a ridiculously safe distance. Finally, he allowed the puppy to crawl on his back and rest there. So this tiger cub would, with the help of his paws, the paws of tiger. So with the help of its paws, it would try to make absurd dashes at the puppy. And then retreat. Children, retreat here means to go back, move back. Okay, so then suddenly it would try to move back and keep a safe distance from the puppy. But finally, this tiger cub allowed the puppy to crawl on his back and rest there. So now the puppy and the cub had become friends. Now, one of Timothy's favorite amusements was to stalk anyone who would play with him. And so, when I came to live with grandfather, I became one of the tiger's favorites. Children, here I is the narrator. So, here stalk means move stealthily towards. Okay. So, this tiger cub had the habit of, stalking near the persons whoever, would play with him, become friendly with him. So he also would try to move towards them. And that is how, when the narrator went to grandfather's house, the tiger had become very friendly with him. Okay? With a crafty look in his glittering eyes and his body crouching, he would creep closer and closer to me. Crafty means, children, very cunning. Okay, and crouching here means, to, sit in a position, putting your knees upside and bending your head down, to crouch like this. Okay. So, whenever, somebody went very close near to this baby cub, it would look with its cunning and glittering eyes, and he would crouch, sit in a position very near to them, would come very closer to them. Okay, and then it would, try to play with them and be very friendly with them. Here, the narrator says it would suddenly make a dash for his feet, and it would roll over on his back, and then kicking with delight and pretending to bite my ankles. So it would come very near to the narrator, play with him, okay, roll on his back and kick him with delight, okay, and it would be very happy to play with the narrator. He was by this time the size of a full-grown retriever, okay, and when I took him out for walks, people on the road would give us a wide berth. Give us a wide berth here means, children, keep a safe distance from them. When he pulled hard on his chain, okay, I had difficulty in keeping up with him. His favorite place in the house was the drawing room, and he would make himself comfortable on the long sofa, reclining there with great dignity and snarling at anybody who tried to get him off. Now this baby tiger cub had grown, the size of a full grown retriever. He had grown big, okay, a big tiger. And when the narrator took this tiger for a walk, people would try to keep a distance from them. And when he tried to pull his chain, it was really difficult for the narrator to control him. Okay, and in the house, the tiger's favorite place was the long sofa. He would relax on the sofa, and if anyone tried to, get him off the sofa, he would just snarl. Okay, he would make snarling sound. Now Timothy had clean habits and would scrub his face with his paws exactly like a cat. He slept at night in the cook's quarters and was always delighted at being let out by him in the morning. So Timothy, though he was in the house being taken care of, he had clean habits, children, and he would scrub his face with his paws like a cat, and at night he slept in the cook's quarters and was always delighted, very happy, whenever the cook let him out in the morning. At night he used to sleep with the cook, and the cook took care of him. Now one of these days, declared grandmother in her prophetic manner. Prophetic means to tell what is going to happen in the future. Okay, to tell in advance. we are going to find Timothy sitting on Mahmud's bed and no sign of the cook except his clothes and shoes. Now children, what did grandmother say one day? Because this cub had grown into a big tiger and it was becoming dangerous. So the grandmother said, maybe one day, we are going to see that Timothy is sitting on Mahmud's bed. Who was Mahmud? The cook who was taking care of the tiger. And there would be no sign of the cook except his clothes and shoes. So of course, it never came to that. That did not happen. But when Timothy was about 6 months old, a change came over him. Now, what did he do when he was 6 months old? He grew steadily less friendly. When he was small, he used to be very friendly with the dog and the monkey. Okay, but now he was less friendly, and when he was taken for a walk by the narrator, he would steal away to stalk a cat or someone's pet dog. When he was taken for a walk, there used to be other pet animals too. And whenever he got a chance, he would try to go near them. He would try to threaten them, frighten them. Sometimes at night, we would hear frenzied cackling. Now, what is this frenzied cackling? Loud and frantic noise from the poultry house. Now, where did this noise come from at night? From the poultry house. And in the morning, there would be feathers lying all over the veranda. That means Timothy had attacked and, maybe eaten some of the hens. So when he would attack the hens and try to eat them off, so these frenzied cackling sounds would come at night. So for this reason, Timothy had to be chained up. Okay? So finally, when he started attacking Mahmud, the cook, like villainous intent. With a villainous intent. Now what is villainous? The word villain. Okay? So villainous intent means wicked and dangerous plan or idea. So with some wicked plan, when he tried to attack Mahmud the cook, the grandfather decided now this is the time to transfer him to the zoo. Now reserving a first class compartment for himself and Timothy, no one would share a compartment with them. Grandfather took him to Lucknow, where the zoo authorities were only too glad to receive as a gift a well-fed and fairly civilized tiger. Now grandfather took Timothy in a train and he had reserved a first class compartment, and nobody else would like to be in that compartment where there is a tiger. So tiger and the grandfather in the first class compartment, and grandfather took him to Lucknow, where the zoo authorities were very happy to receive this tiger who was well fed and taken care of. This was a civilized tiger. About 6 months later, when my grandparents were visiting relatives in Lucknow, grandfather took the opportunity of calling at the zoo to see how Timothy was getting on. I was not there to accompany him, but I heard all about it when I returned to Dehra. So, what happened, children? Grandfather left this tiger in the zoo, and after 6 months, when he visited Lucknow, he had gone there to see his relatives, but he decided to go and visit the zoo because he loved Timothy too much and he wanted to go and meet him. So grandfather went to the zoo to meet Timothy, and the narrator was not there with him. So when grandfather went to the zoo, he went to the cage where Timothy had been interned. Interned here means kept. The tiger was there crouched in a corner. I told you children, crouched means, where your knees are bent and the upper body is brought forward and down, typically in order to avoid detection or to defend oneself. You sit in a crouching position. So when grandfather went inside the zoo and when he saw this cage, where Timothy was kept, he saw the animal, crouched in a corner. It was full grown with a magnificent striped coat. You have seen stripes on the body of tiger. Magnificent means, children, extremely beautiful, elaborate or impressive. So grandfather saw this tiger. Timothy had grown up so beautiful, impressive with stripes on his body. And grandfather greeted him. "Hello, Timothy," said grandfather, and put his arm around the bars of the cage. Now grandfather greeted him. He was so happy to see Timothy grown up, and so he put his arms inside the cage and tried to hug him. Now the tiger also approached the bars. The tiger was crouching there, but when the tiger saw grandfather putting his arms inside the cage, so the tiger also came near the cage or the bars, and it allowed grandfather to put his arms, children. And grandfather also stroked the tiger's forehead and tickled its ears, and whenever he growled, smacked him across the mouth. Smacked here means to hit lightly. Like he used to do at home when, he was not behaving properly. To make him quiet, he used to hit him lightly. Now the grandfather was playing with the tiger, tickled his ears, and he stroked his forehead and also tried to hit him very lightly. Now the tiger also licked grandfather's hands and only sprang away when a leopard in the next cage snarled at him. Snarl here means, children, make an aggressive growl with bared teeth. The way the tigers make sounds to threaten somebody. So here, when the tiger tried to play with grandfather, so there was a leopard in the next cage which was snarling at him, which was making a threatening sound, and grandfather shooed the leopard away. Grandfather tried to, shoo away the leopard which was there in the next cage, and the tiger returned to lick his hands. So the tiger was also licking grandfather's hands, and it was enjoying the companion of grandfather. But every now and then the leopard would rush at the bars and he would slink back to his corner. Slink means to move noiselessly. So this leopard in the next cage, used to every now and then come near and try to threaten this tiger. And every time the grandfather tried to shoo him away. A number of people had gathered to watch the reunion when a keeper pushed his way through the crowd and asked grandfather what he was doing. "I'm talking to Timothy," said grandfather. "Weren't you here when I gave him to the zoo 6 months ago?" So children, when grandfather and Timothy, were spending time together, playing with each other, and, the way they were, happily spending time, grandfather hugging him, putting his hands around his neck, and he was also licking grandfather's hands. So when people saw this reunion, the meeting of these two, many people had gathered, a big crowd had gathered there, and one of the the caretakers in the zoo, who take care of animals, he asked grandfather what he was doing there. And what did grandfather say? "Don't you remember I had brought this tiger 6 months back here. It was I who had gifted this tiger to this zoo. And you know what the caretaker said? I haven't been here very long, said the surprised keeper. Please continue your conversation, but I have never been able to touch him myself. He's always very bad tempered. Why don't you put him somewhere else? Suggested grandfather. That leopard keeps frightening him. I'll go and see the superintendent about it. So, when the caretaker said that he was not there when grandfather had brought this tiger to the zoo, so he asked grandfather to continue talking to the tiger. So grandfather says, Timothy was also a little bit bad tempered, so he was not able to touch him, So, but from inside the bar, he put his hands inside the bar and he tried to play with it. And now he also told the caretaker, why don't you put him in some other cage? Because this leopard is always threatening him, and that leopard keeps frightening. And he also said that he would go and see the superintendent. So grandfather, went in search of the superintendent of the zoo, but found that he had gone home early. He was not there. And so after wandering about the zoo for a little while, he returned to Timothy's cage to say goodbye to Timothy, as it was also getting dark. He went to see the superintendent, but he was not there. He had gone home early, so he went to the cage where Timothy was there to say goodbye to him. So he had been stroking and slapping Timothy for about 5 minutes when he found another keeper observing him with some alarm. Grandfather recognized him as the keeper who had been there when Timothy had first come to the zoo. Slapping means, children, to hit or strike with a palm or of the hand or a flat object. Stroking means to act as the stroke of, a boat or like a crew. So here, when he came back to the cage, he tried to stroke and slap, and he tried to hit him with his palm, and he also tried to play with him for some time. Now Timothy, for 5 minutes he tried to play with him when another keeper. Now children, this keeper was there when grandfather had brought Timothy to the zoo, and he also remembered and he recognized grandfather. You remember me, said grandfather. Now why don't you transfer Timothy to another cage away from this stupid leopard? So grandfather asked this keeper, since he recognized grandfather, so he said, why don't you shift him to another cage, because this leopard keeps threatening him. But sir, stammered the keeper. Stammered means speak with sudden involuntary pauses and a tendency to repeat the initial letters of words. Sometimes out of fear also children stammer, right? So, the caretaker stammered and he said, it is not your tiger. I know, said grandfather. I realize he is no longer mine, but you might at least take a suggestion or two from me. So the caretaker told grandfather that this is not your tiger. So what did grandfather think, children? He thought maybe he is saying that this tiger is no more mine because I have already given it to the zoo. So the grandfather said, yes, I know it is not mine, but at least you can take my suggestion and shift Timothy to another cage. Now the caretaker said, I remember your tiger very well, said the keeper. He died 2 months ago. Died? Exclaimed grandfather. Yes, of pneumonia. This tiger was trapped in the hills only last month and he is very dangerous. Grandfather could think of nothing to say. It was a great shock for him. The tiger was still licking his arm with increasing relish. Grandfather took what seemed to him an age to withdraw his hand from the cage. With his face near the tiger's, he mumbled. Mumbled means to say something indistinctly and quietly, making it difficult for others to hear, in a very low tone. Good night, Timothy. And giving the keeper a scornful look. Scornful means feeling or expressing contempt or derision. Okay, he was, happy with whatever time he was allowed to be in the zoo to play with, Timothy. And he walked briskly out of the zoo. Now, children, isn't the end really surprising and shocking? This tiger, though it was not Timothy, was very friendly with grandfather, and grandfather did not know that it was not Timothy. It was not the tiger which was brought by him to the zoo 6 months back. He did not know this at all. And thinking that the tiger was Timothy, he played with him so well. And what was really surprising and something very astonishing for us children is, why did this tiger become very friendly with grandfather? How did this tiger play with grandfather? It came near the bars, it licked the hands of grandfather, it allowed grandfather to play with him. Though the keeper had told that this tiger was very dangerous. How is it possible that a tiger which was very dangerous was playing with grandfather whom he had not seen? So this is something we need to ponder, children. Why did this happen? Because the grandfather loved animals and he tried to play with the tiger. So the tiger could, feel that warmth, that love. So what do we learn from this story, children? If we do not harm animals, if we try to be friendly with them, if we love them, they also will not harm us and they also will be loving towards us. So that is how this tiger, which was very dangerous, allowed the grandfather to play with him. Can you imagine, children, that you visit a zoo and go near the cage of a tiger, and can you imagine to play with the tiger which is inside the cage? Maybe you will, not do so because it is something very threatening. Okay, tiger which is very dangerous. But if you develop a love for animals and be kind to them and love them, maybe you will be able to play with tigers too. So children, I hope you enjoyed reading this story with me. I'll see you in the next class with a new topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.